Revenge films.
One day this family, the Jeffersons, moved into our neighborhood. The mom's name was Blair and she had a daughter named Helen. She went to the same kindergarten as my daughter, Katie. They became good friends in no time. They always played together. Then, a few months later, Blair came over to our house with Helen. Then she said to me, "My husband is away on business and I got an emergency, so can you watch her tonight?" She was panicking. I knew Helen, but I barely spoke to Blair. But wait, I can't just... But before I could finish my sentence, she ran off. Can you believe her? Sure, our daughters played together, but I barely knew her. We weren't close at all. And she just left without giving me anything. What am I supposed to do about her clothes? But Blair was gone and Helen had nowhere to stay. "What happened?" I asked her. "I don't know. She got a call or something." "Oh well, I guess I don't have a choice." I was gonna have a talk with her when she got back. I let her into our house. Unlike her mother, Helen was such a good girl. "Okay, time to clean up." "Okay." She was really well behaved. And when I told them to go take a bath while I made dinner, she said okay with a big smile on her face. What a nice girl. I can't believe she came out of Blair. She was so well behaved. And Katie seemed really excited too. I think this was the first time she had one of her friends over for a sleepover. I guess everything worked out. I wasn't angry at Blair anymore. But then, something happened. That night, my husband was away on business too, so it was just the three of us. I thought about getting some food from the supermarket as usual, but we had a guest, so I made them a special shrimp dish for lunch. My daughter loved it when I decorated the dish, so I did it often. But Helen said she'd never seen anything like it before.
"This is so cute! Is this a restaurant?"
She seemed really happy. I was happy to hear her say that too, and my daughter looked proud of me.
"Yeah, she makes this for me every day."
I wasn't much, but I was pretty happy. I went back into the kitchen and started cutting some apples for dessert. Then, my daughter ran into the kitchen, crying. She grabbed my hand and took me to the dining room. Helen was on the floor, struggling to breathe, and she was all red too. "Helen! Helen!" I called 911 right away. We rushed her to the hospital. Turns out she had an allergic reaction. She was allergic to shrimp. Blair never told me that, but it wasn't her fault either. I felt so bad. All we could do was pray and wait for her to wake up. I called Blair many times while I waited. I realized I didn't have her number when I was cooking, so I texted my friends and got her number. But she never picked up. I called her hundreds of times, but nothing. And Helen was feeling much better the next day. Thank God. But what kind of mother leaves her daughter behind like this? I was starting to get pissed. I mean, if you're gonna ask me to look after your kid, the least you could do is tell me about her allergies. If she had done that, none of this would have happened. Plus, why didn't she pick up my calls? I called her countless times. If you're gonna ask someone to babysit your child, pick up your phone when I call you. After leaving the hospital, we headed home. Still, no answer from Blair. But then, I ran into her in front of my house. I snapped at her. I couldn't hold it in anymore. But then she said, "If you're gonna feed her, you should have asked me first. That's common sense." Oh, wow. Seriously? Is she being serious right now? She started blaming me. And she didn't seem worried about Helen either. Then she took Helen and went home. What kind of a mother is she? Maybe she's not her real mom. A few days later, her husband came back from his business trip and came over to my house to apologize. Turns out Blair tried to keep this a secret. But when I called the ambulance, one of his friends in the neighborhood saw me and told him about what happened. And there was more. She wasn't Helen's biological mother. After getting a divorce, her husband married her, but she never did anything for Helen. That's so sad. She's such a good girl. Then he told me that she was cheating on him too. She came over that day and forced me to babysit Helen just because she wanted to go out with her boyfriend. Her husband headed up to here with her, so he confronted her after he got back, but then... She's not my daughter. I don't care about her. Unbelievable, right? Her husband got remarried because he thought Helen needed a mother, but after everything that happened, he told me that he was getting a divorce. When Katie heard this, she started crying because she thought Helen had to move. But turns out, he was from around here, so Helen was here to stay. Oh, and he filed a lawsuit against her for cheating on him and abandoning his daughter like that. I told him I'll do everything I can to help him. In court, she said, "She's not my real child. I'm not obligated to look after someone else's kid." But they were legally married at the time, so that wasn't gonna work. Needless to say, the judge ordered her to pay her ex-husband tens of thousands of dollars in damages. Not sure what happened to Blair and her boyfriend after that, but I bet she was pissed when the judge told her to pay up. Nothing changed between Katie and Helen though, so that was good. Sometimes Helen came over when her dad had to go away on business. Sometimes Katie went to play at Helen's grandparents' house, which was in the neighborhood. She was having a lot of fun with her, and her dad always brought us souvenirs. He got along with my husband too. Soon, he became a family friend. Oh, and Helen was such a good influence on Katie. She started helping me around the house thanks to her. She definitely deserves someone better than that crazy woman. Anyways, I'm just glad everything worked out.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.